Annie Oakley, born Phoebe Ann Moses in Ohio, gained fame as a sharpshooter after defeating a traveling marksman at age 15. Her remarkable aim and flair for performance earned her celebrity status in Wild West shows, captivating audiences nationwide. In this circa 1882 view, a stagecoach rests in Tombstone, Arizona, one of the Old West's most storied towns. Founded in 1879 after silver was discovered, Tombstone quickly gained fame for its lawlessness and violence, especially the infamous 1881 gunfight at the OK Corral. Bass Reeves, 1838 to 1910, broke racial barriers as the first black deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River. Born into slavery, he later upheld justice with unmatched resolve, arresting over 3,000 outlaws. Known for his integrity and marksmanship, he only killed in self-defense. Billy the Kid, born Henry McCarty, 1859 to 1881, became a legend of the Wild West after fleeing New York's Irish slums for a life of outlawry. He gained fame during the Lincoln County War in New Mexico, allegedly killing up to 27 men. He was finally shot dead at just 21 years old. Jesse James, 1847 to 1882, joined Confederate guerrillas at 17, honing brutal skills during the Civil War. Afterward, he led a notorious outlaw gang that robbed banks and trains across the Midwest. Though portrayed as a Robin Hood, he kept the loot for himself and his men. Known as the Bandit Queen, Belle Starr, 1848-1889, was a notorious outlaw who associated with criminals including Jesse James and the Younger Brothers. After her 1886 arrest by Deputy U.S. Marshal Charles Barnhill, her image became legend thanks to sensational press coverage. In this striking 1868 image, workers build a railroad bridge in Wyoming's Green River Valley with the towering Citadel Rock in the distance. Captured during westward expansion, this scene highlights the labor, ambition, and raw landscapes that defined the building of the Transcontinental Railroad. Laura Bullion's 1893 Pinkerton mugshot captures a notorious Wild Bunch outlaw. She took part in the Great Northern Train robbery and served 5 years in prison. Afterward, she struggled to live honestly as a seamstress and designer, passing away in poverty in 1961. In the 1870s, the U.S. Army orchestrated mass buffalo slaughter to undermine native tribes' food sources and social unity. From 60 million bison, numbers plummeted to just 300 by century's end, sparking conservation efforts that helped bison populations recover to around 200,000 today. In 1903, a black sheriff in Pocatello, Idaho is pictured on horseback, highlighting the overlooked presence of black cowboys who made up about 1 in 4 in the Wild West. After the Civil War, cowboy work offered African Americans a rare chance for freedom and opportunity beyond limited jobs. Following the Civil War, many freed slaves migrated westward seeking new opportunities and freedom from the entrenched racial prejudices of the East. The American West offered a chance to build new lives, own land, and pursue livelihoods with comparatively greater independence and less societal restriction. Calamity Jane, born Martha Jane Canary, was a renowned frontierswoman and scout celebrated for her bravery and kindness. Known for her daring exploits and battles with native raiders, she was also linked romantically to Wild Bill Hickok, though details of their marriage remain uncertain. An unnamed prospector in 1881 represents the silver boom following California's 1849 gold rush bust. Calico, founded on calico-colored silver, became a major supplier in the 1880s. The 1893 Silver Purchase Act caused silver prices to crash, leading to calico's abandonment by 1907. Chief John Smith, known as Cobnagwy-Wens, or Wrinkle Meat, was a Chippewa elder from Cass Lake, Minnesota. Though legend claimed he lived to be between 132 and 138 years old, researchers believe he was likely just under 100 when he died of pneumonia in 1922. His longevity became part of native oral tradition. Covered wagons were essential to westward expansion in 19th-century America, serving as both transport and home for settlers moving into frontier territories. Pulled by oxen or horses, these wagons carried families and their belongings across rugged terrain in pursuit of land and opportunity. In this 1902 photo, a cowboy prepares his lasso while driving a herd of cattle across the plains of Kansas. Cowboys played a vital role in managing massive cattle drives that moved herds from ranches to railheads. Such drives were central to the cattle industry and the frontier economy. Geronimo, 1829 to 1909, the legendary Apache leader, fiercely resisted U.S. and Mexican forces across the Southwest. After his 1886 surrender, he spent the rest of his life as a prisoner of war. Despite captivity, he appeared in parades and photos, like this 1887 image, to earn money and remain visible. Captured around 1851, this portrait of an unidentified California gold miner reflects the rush that drew thousands westward after gold was discovered in 1848. The gold rush transformed California's economy, population, and landscape, fueling American expansion into the Pacific frontier. This 1894 mugshot of Butch Cassidy, born Robert Leroy Parker, captures one of the most notorious outlaws of the American West. As leader of the Wild Bunch Gang, Cassidy orchestrated numerous bank and train robberies before eventually fleeing the U.S., his fate shrouded in legend. Chinese immigrant laborers played a vital role in building the American West, particularly on the Transcontinental Railroad and in mining. Their hard work fueled economic growth, yet it also triggered xenophobic backlash. This led to harsh exclusion laws, like the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. Iron White Man, a member of the Sioux Nation, was one of the many Native Americans who joined Buffalo Bill's Wild West show in the late 19th century. These performances toured the U.S. and Europe, blending spectacle and myth, but also offered Native participants rare income and travel opportunities amid government-imposed reservation life. Joe Black Fox, a Sioux performer in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show, participated in theatrical reenactments that both entertained audiences and preserved certain aspects of Native culture, albeit filtered through myth. Like many Native cast members, he used the opportunity for travel, income, and survival amid harsh reservation conditions. Prostitution was widespread in the Old West, especially in boomtowns where men far outnumbered women. While the work was dangerous and stigmatized, some women managed to gain independence and economic power, eventually becoming madams who ran their own establishments. Judge Roy Bean, known as the Law west of the Pecos, was a saloon keeper and justice of the peace in southwest Texas during the late 1800s. He gained fame for his unorthodox courtroom, held inside his bar, and for his colorful rulings, more theatrical than deadly. Built for the 1909 Alaska-Yukon Pacific Exposition in Seattle, the Klondike Dance Hall and Saloon was so convincingly wild in its portrayal of frontier nightlife that officials shut it down for being too realistic. It offered a glimpse into Old West vice and entertainment culture. On April 22, 1889, around 50,000 settlers surged into 2 million acres of land during the Oklahoma Land Rush, staking claims on parcels of up to 160 acres. Though promised to native tribes by treaty, the U.S. broke its word, seizing the land to further westward expansion and manifest destiny. This 1897 mugshot captures James Collins, a 23-year-old tailor arrested in Omaha, Nebraska for burglary. The growing use of photography in law enforcement during the late 19th century helped standardize criminal records, aiding police in tracking repeat offenders across state lines. In this circa 1870 portrait, a young Wyatt Earp, just 21 years old, had already begun forging the legend that would define him. Later famous for his role in the gunfight at the OK Corral, Earp operated in the gray area of frontier law, praised as a hero by some and accused of cold-blooded killings by others. Though murder charges followed him, none ever stuck.